The bag of food was still warm in my hand when I pushed open her office door. I hadn't knocked. I wanted to see the look on her face, caught between deadlines and exhaustion, then rescued by me, the husband who thought of everything. But the room wasn't quiet. It was filled with the wet, desperate sound of mouths colliding. His hands wrapped around her waist, her fingers buried in his hair. The desk I had assembled for her last year became their stage. I froze. Not from disbelief, from confirmation. Her body stiffened when she saw me, but only for a second. Then she laughed, a sharp, cruel note that sliced through me. He turned, stepped forward, and shoved me before I could speak. My ribs hit the carpet. His shoe pressed against my chest like I was nothing. And she laughed again, louder this time. But then, another sound. The door creaked. A figure stepped inside. Their laughter evaporated like smoke. Their faces drained of color. And I knew. This wasn't the end. It was the beginning. I didn't move. I didn't shout. I gathered the pieces silently. Her lipstick smeared across his cheek. Her perfume mixed with the scent of his cologne. Their rhythm, too practiced to be new. She had been leaving the house earlier, staying at the office later, always too tired, too distracted. I told myself it was work pressure, deadlines, clients, but her laughter told the truth. She had rehearsed it. She was waiting for this moment, the discovery, the humiliation. I was supposed to break, to scream, to beg. Instead, I stood up, dusted myself off, and placed the untouched lunch bag on her desk. "For you," I said, my voice flat, cold. Her eyes darted toward the man. His chest puffed out, but his silence betrayed unease. The figure at the door lingered, unsure. I didn't turn to see who it was. I didn't need to. What mattered was the sudden shift in air, their power leaking away, dripping like blood onto the carpet. I left without another word. At home, I didn't touch her side of the bed. I didn't erase her messages. I archived them, cataloged them. Every late-night excuse, every fabricated meeting. I watched her movements with the precision of a surgeon. Her phone never left her hand, except in the shower. I learned the rhythm of her passcode from the reflection in her glasses. It was simple enough to unlock. Inside, photos, messages, his name, hidden under a fake contact. Jokes about me, plans whispered between them. I felt nothing, just a steady current of clarity. I collected everything: call logs, receipts, hotel bookings disguised as conferences, even the parking garage entry records from her office, which showed him visiting at hours she claimed to be working late. The world believes betrayal shatters a man instantly. They're wrong. It hollows him slowly, leaving behind something sharper, something surgical. I waited, patient, calculating. The final piece arrived in an envelope, a private investigator's report. Photos of her slipping into his apartment, her hand on his arm, his lips on hers in public, careless, unafraid. Proof, beyond denial. That evening, she came home humming. She dropped her purse on the counter and kissed me lightly, as if nothing were amiss. I slid the envelope across the table. She opened it. Her smile faltered. Her face drained of color, the same way it had when the door opened in her office. "Where did you?" I cut her off with silence, just a stare, cold, unblinking. She reached for words. None survived. For the first time, she looked small. I didn't shout. I didn't strike. I didn't even raise my voice. I took her phone, already unlocked. I opened the hidden folder and mirrored it to the television. Their messages filled the screen. Their photos, their recordings. Her lover's voice echoed through the living room, crude, mocking. Her laughter intertwined with his. She lunged for the remote, but I didn't move. I just watched her squirm. Then I dialed a number. Speaker on. The voice that answered belonged to her boss, the same one who had walked into her office that day, the shadow at the door. I let the recordings play. Silence followed, heavy, loaded silence. When the call ended, she collapsed into the chair. Her job, her reputation, her carefully curated life, all of it severed in a single stroke. I stood, collected my coat. "I don't compete," I said, voice even, final. Her eyes begged. Mine didn't. I left the house that night. The air was sharp, cold against my lungs, but it felt clean. Her laughter still echoed in my mind, but now it sounded hollow, fragile. The laugh of someone who believed they held the knife, not realizing it was already buried in their own chest. I didn't think of what came next. Divorce papers, division of assets, public disgrace. Those were details, formalities. The truth was already mine, the control restored. And as I walked into the night, I felt nothing for her. Not anger, not sorrow, nothing at all. Just clarity. She had wanted me broken. Instead, she was the one left bleeding. And I was finally free.